Hey everyone, welcome to 5 More Minutes, the show where dos amigos relive their childhoods, or in some cases, learn about everything they missed out on. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
Okay, I'm not the problem. So. If that's good.
I've had that stuck in my head all day. I think it's from the insane amount of TikTok I was on yesterday in my gay ex Mormon loophole.
Yeah, apparently you're
And
in
I
a
stayed up
weird
until
place.
midnight watching a documentary that I haven't finished yet. And I
On
don't
what?
know, gay ex Mormons.
Oh, so your whole
I
life is
found
it right
okay,
now.
so I follow this one comedian like Bam Dan Bam or something. And I found him on my For You page because he was at BYU and he was like asking students like if they would rather die a terrible death or watch porn. And like almost all of them said die a terrible death. And so then I was like, I have to follow this guy because this is hilarious. And he's just like a comedian, but he goes there for bits. But he's an ex-Mormon and he's gay.
Mm.
And I think because I follow him, this podcast called Mormon Stories showed up on my For You page because he's on an episode. But I didn't realize that at first because the one that showed up wasn't him. And this podcast has like 1,600 episodes. And in
Wow.
each episode, they interview like ex Mormons or people who are still in the church, but like question it, or people who are in the church and like have gay relatives or whatever. Like
Mm.
one of them was like a BYU professor whose son is gay or whatever. And then I was reading the comments on this one with this lesbian couple, and then someone was talking about the documentary, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go watch this documentary. So in the documentary, it was mostly talking about them, and one of them was like a pioneer Mormon, so like born into it. So I mean, she really had no chance to like realize that she was gay until her husband started questioning the church, because like they're kind of brainwashed to an extent, you know.
Yeah, if you're just always in it all the time.
Especially like, yeah, and I think especially like depending on where you live too. Like
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like Mormons in Utah and stuff.
Hmm.
So, anyways, I watched like an hour of TikToks on this page because they were like 3 minute long clips. And then I watched 2 episodes of the documentary, and basically they're engaged, and one had 4 kids and one had 3 kids. And the kids live with them, and they live in like a really expensive area of LA. Forget what it is. Starts with an H, I think. And one of them's ex-husband is like super chilly, like comes over all the time, and the other one's ex-husband like is not super into it but working on it. And then there's a bunch of like younger people at BYU who recently graduated or whatever who are like starting organizations. Like the valedictorian a few years ago apparently came out during his speech. He was like, as a gay son of God, just like in the middle of his valedictorian speech.
Nice.
Yeah. So, anyways, I was down like a deep hole.
Deep
And
rabbit hole.
I told some of my students before they came into first hour. And then this one student later was like, what documentary was it? But like this one student in my class is Mormon. So I was like, just a random one. But then later I wrote it on a sticky note and handed it to her. But so she like knew why I didn't say it out loud because she was sitting next to the kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was just like, ah. And then she ripped it up and put it in the trash.
Burned it afterwards for good measure.
Anyways, what I really wanted to talk about was the video I sent you.
Right. You have
I've
anything
been
to add
done
about
with
that
it
video?
since that's what I did since no one was on the Discord.
Oh.
But it was actually my students' idea. So almost or half of the students in that video I had last year. Some of them wanted to be in it, but they couldn't come to my room during our enhancement session. They had like mock interviews and things that they had to go to. So they want me to make another one. So I'll probably do a part 2. But I always complain about the sophomores I have this year to the juniors who I had as sophomores last year. And they were like, we should like scare them. Like we could come into your class. And then I was like, or we could make like a video or something. And then one of them was like, yeah, we could make like a documentary, kind of like The Office. And I was instantly like, yes, we're doing that tomorrow during the hour-long EI. And I brought my ring light and my camera and my green screen. And they were into it. But there was like 4 students who were like, I'm so sad I couldn't be here for it. And I was like, don't worry, we'll do it again.
Nice.
Yeah. It's pretty great, I thought.
So was the point of it to try
to get my sophomores to take their class more seriously? But right. Most of them, every time a student came on, were like, oh my gosh, I know this person. Like they were just completely like, it ended up being more funny than we had originally planned because we were all just like, it was funny. But the one girl brought her violin. So
Yeah, randomly.
Yeah.
Why was the grader just stacking shit on the desk?
Oh, that was just a student. So she didn't want to talk because she thought she wouldn't be able to not laugh. But she's the only sophomore I have in English 101. And so she's not in English 10. So she was like, oh, I'll be like an example of what happens if you don't take English 10. Like I'll pretend that I'm like failing or whatever. But then she was having a hard time not laughing. I don't know why she was like, I'm just gonna keep stacking work up. But she was like, she was kind of laughing too much and like it could have been like that part could have been better. But
it just didn't make any sense to me. I was like, what are we?
Yeah, essentially she dies from the stress of the homework. But she didn't portray that super well.
Right. And if you're going to stack things that are supposed to be English related.
Yeah, and her pre-calc book.
Pre-calc book, a random binder. God knows what was in it.
Her computer just not open. And the like a half of a ream of computer paper.
Yeah, I think that's where she.
I didn't even know she grabbed that.
And that was the first item, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm lost now.
Yeah, I feel like she should have just been like, she should have just had her like course reader that I printed and been just like flipping through it and like, because I was like trying. So at one point she turns away and then she sees me and she comes back and she like erases faster. But I was just trying to be more frantic, not erase harder, just like.
Yeah, because you can tell she looks right at you and you were probably like, do this. And then she was like.
But again, she is a sophomore, so she's only slightly different from the other ones. But then she like is a ghost at the end. But
was she?
But it was like, yeah, kind of. Anyways, she was supposed to wear all white, but she was like, "Oh, I thought we were doing this on Monday," and I was like, "You really are a sophomore." It was their idea for me to throw the book, and a couple of them just like sent the video to people without explaining anything. So the one girl like was like, "Yeah, I sent my sister that video of you throwing the book," and she was really concerned. I was like, "Did you explain it?" And she was like, "No, I just sent the video," and I was like, yeah, you should probably explain it. She was like, don't worry, she's a freshman. And I was like, you should still explain.
Yeah. You're going to get like audited or whatever.
Yeah. The first time I threw it, I just kind of threw it hard, but threw it in between them. But then it didn't look good. And I was like, I'm going to throw it right at you, Riken. And I just like lofted it.
Nice. So amateur director and
producer and whatever. I did all the edits. They were like, wow, miss, it's actually a really good editing job. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty all right. The one student, Mabel, they're the one who did the she doesn't even go here thing for Mean Girls, so they were kind of carrying that on to to this video. Yeah.
Nice.
Anyways, I wanted to send you the link on Sunday morning, but then I decided to wait so that you could watch it right before we did this.
Ah, gotcha. It's fresh in the brain.
Yeah, I told Sarah I was gonna do it. Well, I went into her room like after we recorded it, and then she was like, "Send that to me when you're done." And so I texted her the link on Sunday morning, and she was like, "LOL, I'm blown away," with like sideways laughing, crying emoji.
Sideways really sells it.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah. Anyways, I've had a lot of caffeine today. I had coffee this morning. I'm out of non-espresso beans too, so I keep having to. Which I mean, I'm getting pretty good. Like I'm getting better at frothing my milk. It's a little bit harder with oat milk. I actually think I could do it good with regular milk, but
sounds terrible to say though. Getting really good at frothing my milk.
I am, whatever. And I had an energy drink because I knew I needed it for the D&D club. And I was like, oh, well, if they're all good because they have people who've played in each of their groups, I'll grade. But it was like way too loud. So I'm like way behind on grading.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's fine.
And you get to go on a road trip.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
What about you?
Just been working a ridiculous amount, but I've been like actually productive. So I had something that was due Friday and I'm taking Friday off. So I was like, I guess that means Thursday for me. So it's been like a massive push to get it done. But I think I got it done.
Did you know that there's Puma Animal Crossing shoes?
Yeah, I think I did know that. There's a bunch of weird collabs. There's Puma Pokemon shoes too, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
How do you feel about your picture being famous?
Yeah. What the heck is up with that?
I mean, I'm assuming that as soon as you post something, it's probably internet property.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure eBay is like anything you post on our site, we can use in our ad. Yeah. I just was like scrolling around on, it's a stupid Microsoft Edge application because that's what we have to use to access our
Yeah.
time card.
Sometimes I have to use that because it's like I was finally able to because they don't let us change everything on our computer, so sometimes stuff opens in that.
Yeah. And then I open it up and it's like an ad for eBay and it's showing a picture of a pair of shoes that I'm selling. And I was like, what the heck? That's my picture. Why is it just randomly on here? And sure enough, it was. So yeah, my sneaker selling is coming to a head. I'm about to pop off
Okay.
or something.
Yeah.
But yeah. So just
Preach
been working
it,
a lot, and that means I didn't have a lot of prep for this episode. So it's gonna be a lot of me just reading notes, and direct retellings of my experiences. So.
Oh boy, your own experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm intrigued.
Well, I mean, we're continuing God of War. It is like
Oh.
it's God of War Ragnarok Day. Like the game came out today. I just got the boxes out in the living room, so
Oh, that's how
one
come
is
Ian got
out.
his controller.
Yep, exactly. I got one
And
of
I
those
was
too.
like, you forget a lot of things that you order. Because he really does forget a lot of things that he
Yeah,
orders.
but maybe it's kind of fun. It's like, oh, a present for me. Forgot I got this.
Mm-hmm. Man, I really just wish I had I wish that someone just gave me $500 a month to buy shoes.
Well, if you buy as many as I do, you make roughly $500 a month.
Yeah, but I want shoes for me, not shoes to resell.
Well, you gotta do both.
And I almost entered some of the ones yesterday, but then I was like, nah. And those weird brown and green ones were like the draw was open for a long time.
I don't think those ones are that.
Yeah,
rare.
the only reason why I kind of liked them was because they're kind of like a neutral, like they're good neutral colors, so they wouldn't be like hard to match an outfit to.
They're good like fall shoes, and they were made by Zion Williamson collaboration.
Yeah.
So, but I've been like lurking on the Whatnot app, which is like a bunch of like streaming auctions and stuff like
I don't
that.
know what that is.
We had to download it.
It's probably something that I shouldn't know.
We had to download it for the auction at the retro gaming convention. So I've just been like poking around for like sneakers and stuff on it. And there's actually some decent like shoe streams, and they're like 30 45-second auctions. You bid them up. And so I bought like 4 pairs that I just got. A couple were like barely lightly used. I had one pair that was like tried on. So got more of those.
45-second auction?
Yeah. And so it's just like this person, they get in front of the stream, they're like, here I go, got this, it's lightly used or it's new. Start the bidding, and then people just bid it up.
So it's like TikTok for bidding.
Kind of, yeah. And then if you just hang around in the stream, they have like random giveaways, and I just like enter. So I've already won like a hat and a t-shirt. It's like just random free shit because the streams aren't that big. There's like 300 people in it, so odds are not terrible.
There's a giveaway at 6:59.
There you go.
I'm gonna make an account. Sign with Google.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. I
also kind of like those DJ Khaled 5s that are coming out later, just because that's also just like a nice color.
I do like those, yeah. Those are them dang Chicago ones I want to try to get.
Yeah, so, I don't know. What happens. I need some shoes that aren't Nikes though, because I just went from having like no Nikes to having like 6 pairs of Nikes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, but like there are some other shoes. Like I do need to get like a pair of more like casual boots too, so that I can sometimes wear like nicer shoes to work.
Yeah.
Because I don't really have any good ones anymore. And I really want a couple pairs of Adidas also. I don't have any just like chill. Like I still have my NMDs, but they're kind of beyond cleanliness. Mm-hmm. So all I really have are like my Vans for just like casual sneaker wearing, kind of like goes with everything.
Do you still have those low black ones?
Yeah, but sometimes depending on what I'm wearing, I don't like wearing black shoes. So like it just kind of like depends on what I'm going on up here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I'll kind of jump in. I'm going over God of War 3 today.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. So I'll go over some of the boring stuff and then we'll get into the plot, which I'm sure Ken remembers everything about.
I remember lots of tittied people.
Lots of titty people.
Yeah, but that was the first episode, not the last one. The Thread Sisters or whatever. What are they called?
Yeah, that was God of War 2.
Oh, was it the last one?
The Sisters of Fate.
Yeah, not the Thread Sisters, but they do weave threads. So I was in the right.
You're putting some things together.
Yeah, I was in the right zone.
Yes. So God of War 3 is also an action adventure hack and slash video game. It continues to be developed by Santa Monica Studio and obviously published by Sony. It was first released for the PlayStation 3 March 16th, 2010.
Wow, that's the day before your birthday.
I know.
These are all coming out right around your birthday, bitch.
I know. They're like all March, except for this one. This one did get delayed though, because 2018 was like March something too. They've all been like March so far, it seems like. It is the 5th installment of the God of War series, and it is the 7th game chronologically. So they do a little time jumping around with some of the prequels and stuff. And obviously the sequel to 2007 God of War 2.
Wait, so 3 years?
3 years after, yep. So not bad. And especially, I didn't prepare any slides or anything, but if you just look up like God of War 3 graphics, it is miles better than the other one. Because the other ones were on PlayStation 2, so, obviously limited by technology. Mm-hmm. But this one was for the 3, and it was huge strides for
huge muscles.
Oh, dude, so many of them is good. Let's see here. So gameplay is similar. They obviously did some cleaning up. They added some stuff. Your blades are called the Blades of Exile in this one because you have been exiled out of Olympus.
Oh, I thought maybe when you killed someone, you exiled them to like a different plane of existence.
Well, I guess you could look at it that way too. You exiled them to the underworld. Quick time events continue to be a thing. Ender knows all about those QTEs. Mm-hmm. You can use up to 4 magical attacks and power enhancing ability as alternative combat options. And then you have normal puzzles and platforming. Compared with the previous installments, God of War 3 has a revamped magic system, more enemies, new camera angles, and downloadable content. Because that was the era that everything was starting to do that, it seems like. It was critically acclaimed upon release. Big praise for the graphic improvements, gameplay, the scope. The plot had a little bit of mixed reviews. It was not a 10 out of 10 plot. People didn't love it, but it was a decent end to his time in Greek mythology, I guess. It did what it had to do. It received several awards, including Most Anticipated Game of 2010, the Best PS3 Game at the 2009 and 10 Spike Video Game Awards, the Artistic Achievement Award at the 2011 British Academy of Film and Television Arts, second best selling game in the God of War series, and the 9th best selling PlayStation 3 game of all time. Sold nearly 5.2 million copies worldwide by June 2012, so 2 years and 3 months. And it was included in like packages. They did like God of War Saga games where they included, like all 3 on one disc, stuff like that. Get those resale numbers.
Heck yeah. Resale, bitch.
Resale. Okay. So you might remember right at the end of God of War 2, Kratos had gone through all his nonsense and he had gathered up the Titans and Gaia, large boobed Earth lady, if you will remember.
Yeah.
So God of War 3 picks up like directly where that game left off. You were climbing the mountain to go face the gods in 2. You are doing that in 3 as it opens. You pick open with a stirring open narration from Zeus. He is up at the top of Mount Olympus. He's talking about Kratos' rogue actions and how he is a danger to everyone. He is commanding a small army of Titans that are coming to kill them. So Zeus is like trying to rally up the gods and be like, okay, we gotta put this guy down. We gotta end this once and for all. Mm-hmm. So they're ready for war.
Oh hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Olympians immediately rush into the battle. Helios rides on his chariot. Hermes speeds down, and Zeus kind of just stays and watches because that's what the head honcho does, I suppose. Hercules puts his what are they called? His troops, his legion, down into the fray. Hades jumps off and he starts fighting Titans, and Hades is able to take a giant's form, so he's like similar size to them. And Poseidon shoots down from Olympus like a missile and performs a death blow through the chest of Epimetheus, and then manifests himself as a huge water being and spawns like several water horses that you have to fight. And it's like the first fight of the game. He's the first boss for Kratos to go against, and they like go right into it, starting strong.
Heck yeah.
Yep. Poseidon is the greatest threat of the battle, so he's already, taken down one Titan, and he's going after Gaia now. So Kratos fights the god of the sea, and after drawing him into Gaia's grasp, managed to knock Poseidon out of his godly form.
Oh, what does that even mean?
So when he's in his godly form or whatever, he's like much larger. He's like surrounded in water. So he's almost like piloting a water mech, So he's like normal sized dude inside of his giant water beast that he's controlling to fight Kratos. And Kratos is able to like launch himself through the form and pull him out of it. So he takes him out. They quarrel. And then Kratos walks up and beats him savagely, of course, finally gouging his eyes out and snapping his neck before he throws him down into the ocean. With Poseidon's death, the sea's cataclysm and ocean levels rise significantly, causing a flood that appears to engulf the entire world and destroying almost all of mankind except for those on top of Olympia. So, rough way to start the game, I guess, if you're the gods. Sea God is dead, thrown out. One of the cool things about God of War 3 is that some of these like visceral kills that you get on the other gods, you get to do it in like first person. So you're like seeing through Kratos' eyes as he like punches the crap out of people and, snaps necks, does things like that. Pretty cool. Yeah. So after killing Poseidon, Kratos and Gaia, they're able to get up to Zeus's pavilion, where he is angrily anticipating his arrival. And then he assaults them with mighty lightning blasts that blows off a massive chunk of Gaia's arm. So deals some serious damage.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that sentence.
Oh, where do you think I was going?
We'll just let the listener assume.
Fill in the blanks. I mean, you get it. Mm-hmm. Okay. This sends both Gaia and Kratos spiraling down the mountain. So not good. They're falling. Kratos survives by using the golden fleece to absorb most of the blast. However, even using the blade of Olympus to stab into her back to hold on, he is not able to hold on to Gaia as they fall through the sky. Gaia warns Kratos that he was only a pawn and is now expendable since the Titans are now on their own warpath to Zeus. So she just showed, I was kind of using you to start this war. Now I don't really care about you anymore. So everyone's just kind of a jerk, Everyone's betraying people.
That's honestly kind of like real life, so it's relatable.
Relatable, yeah. So she allows the Spartan to tumble to his death. Kratos contemplates his life as he lurches through.
That's also relatable.
Yeah. As he lurches through the river Styx and its caverns and resolves to escape Hades once again, because you'll remember in the previous games he was technically killed but climbed back out of the underworld. Mm-hmm. So he is going to try to do that again to get through Hades and get to Zeus. On his way to Hades' chamber, and in every God of War game, they find like a creative way, because since this is like a direct continuation of 2, everyone's like, oh, technically Kratos would have all of his powers and be like super upgraded from 2, As he's in the river Styx, all of these like spirits suck away all your life force, all like your extra beefed up health and magic and weapon levels. So you basically are starting from scratch again, which, you know, is obviously intentional to start a new game. He reunites with a newly formed Athena, who claims to have reached a new level of existence, and she appears to him as kind of like a spectral being, like a ghost, since she died at the end of 2. And she's still contacting with him. She's telling him about the foes that lie ahead, and also helps him define his next quest of finding and extinguishing the flame of Olympus in order to truly defeat Zeus, which is his end goal. And you might recall that Zeus is his father, that we learn at the end of 2.
Wait, whose father?
Zeus is Kratos' father.
Oh, yeah. I got confused for a second and thought we were not talking about Kratos anymore. And then I was like, wait.
Yeah. Still about Kratos.
Cha, bitch.
Whoa. So you, as Kratos, make your way through the underworld. You meet some lost souls along the way, encountering statues of the judges of the underworld. You meet Hephaestus, who is the forge, like he forges weapons for the gods, who informs him more and more about the secrets of Olympus and Zeus, finding mysterious scrawls on the ground that he silently acknowledges to be from people in his past. So Hephaestus is kind of like exiled down here. He's like kind of a larger being, and he's like crammed into this little like tiny room. He's like hunched over, and he's like, you know, pounding on the anvil, making things. Not a great existence. So that's where he's stuck.
Kind of like that reminds me of that guy in the Thor movie.
The Thor movie, which
where they have to like go to like some weird abandoned like dwarven thing, or it might be an Avengers movie. Maybe it's someone you haven't seen. But they go to some like abandoned like planet or something where like there's only one dwarf left. He's like the only forge.
Oh. Dwarven. Oh, that makes Thor his big hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nidavellir.
Yeah.
The Nidavellir's forge harnesses the power of a blazing of why did it change when I clicked on it? Anyways, it harnesses some sort of power.
Yeah, it does.
It must be during Avengers though, because he goes there with like Rocket and Groot.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I remember what you're talking about. I have seen that one. That's probably the last one that I've seen.
Is it in Age of Ultron?
No, it's the
Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you even like? I don't even know how to keep.
Well, I just remember Infinity War is the one where the snap happens or whatever, right?
I thought the snap happened in Endgame.
Well, I guess there are multiple snaps. Because in Infinity War, that's when at the very last part of the movie he snaps, and then half of them go away, right? And then
so that's Endgame, the one that you saw, but you didn't see Endgame.
Correct. Yes, I have not seen Endgame. Endgame is like them trying to put the pieces back together afterwards.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So very much like that.
They end the game, if you will.
They end the game. Kratos is not ending his game because there are many sequels to go. He has many more gods to kill.
Bitch.
Exactly.
One of my students was like, I've been listening to your podcast and it's so weird to hear you swear. And I was like, yeah, I'm in kind of a saying the bitch word phase lately. And they were like, yeah. I was like, okay.
You're like, I have recently discovered what most people
That's
find
literally
when
what
like
I
12.
said. I was like, I never really started swearing until like 4 or 5 years ago. And I feel like every time I say a new word, it's just like, it's like I'm a kid.
You got to use it a bit. Yeah. So yeah, you meet Hephaestus. He is actually the one, like when you gather like currency and stuff, you can bring your weapons to him and he'll upgrade them for you. Because he kind of wants to be out of his little prison down there too. He's not really a fan of, making thunderbolts for Zeus and all of that stuff. Lightning bolts, whatever you call them.
Thunder and lightning.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know if that was a thunder noise, but it was definitely a noise.
It was a noise. That's true.
Kratos, you are finally able to enter Hades' palace. You find the coffin, which is the wed body of Persephone, that Hades had restored.
Did you say wet?
Wed,
or
like
wed?
married.
Okay, that's what I thought, but then I was like, wait, that sounds weird. But then that was right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Kratos engages the Lord of the Underworld himself inside of a dark cavern. Hades matches Kratos until the bloodthirsty Spartan managed to rip off Hades' helmet and steal his weapons from him. And then the weapons Hades uses in this game are like, they're kind of like your chain blades, but they're hooks. And he can like hook souls out of people. So basically throws the hooks, pulls the soul out of you, you're kind of screwed. So Kratos uses his own weapons to rip out Hades' soul and absorbs it into the claws of Hades.
Okay.
And, yep. So
it's kind of hard to visualize that, but
yeah, he gets new weapons out of it. Let's see. I'm just gonna show you what Hades looks like in this game because he is quite a sight. Hades fight.
more of a sight than he is in like Hercules.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I need a good picture. Give me the picture. Here, I guess we'll just do the image address. I guess what I could be doing is I could just share my screen with you.
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna click on the link.
Okay. I mean, you can see what he looks like.
Whoa,
he's kind of
what?
Yeah.
What?
That's Hades.
Why?
Because he's like, a menace.
Why does he have a metal coming out of his nipple?
He just has like spikes through his whole body.
But that's like where your nipple is supposed to
be. That's the part that's hanging up.
I mean, maybe not on a pec, but it looks rather nipple-like.
Yeah.
Does it explain why he looks like that?
He's just kind of, the god of the underworld. This is very dark underworld, torturous. So he just kind of takes on that form, He's a sick dude.
What's underneath his helm?
A very ugly face.
Does he take it off?
Yeah, you rip it off of him in the fight. If you scroll down a way, there's got to be one without his helmet on. Or I guess you could just type it in. Hades fight God of War 3. No helmet. Because he's an ugly some bitch. Yeah, if you type that in, you can kind of see him. Look kind of like a Neanderthal.
I think why does his mouth look like that?
You don't like?
No wonder he wears a big helm.
Yeah, he's got to cover that face, man. So, yeah, you do this fight, you get his little like hooks. So, upgrades. This allows Kratos to escape the underworld through a Hyperion gate. And then Kratos takes up where he left off to go back up to Olympus. Except now he faces both the Titans and the gods, where as before he only thought he was fighting the gods. So now everyone is his enemy, which is kind of how he operates better a little bit. Just killing indiscriminately. Yeah. He encounters Helios on his chariot, and you're able to have a little skirmish with him, and then Kratos ends up ripping his head off, which is also a very visceral, fun clip. What the hell is that? Do you hear that? I think someone's dragging their trash can out. Oh, it's pretty loud. Anyway. Helios, God of War. It's the good stuff. Here, I'll just share my screen for this out of simplicity.
Okay. What shoes are those back there?
Those are Air Jordan 11s.
But like low ones?
Yeah, Air Jordan 11 low, and they're blue snakeskin.
Oh, when did you get those?
I got those from that auction.
Oh. The what?
So I think we're probably at the end of this video. Oh, yeah. So you're making your way, you're fighting people. Downtown. So those are the claws of Hades, actually. You're using them right there. They're like little hooks. Oh, and here's Helios. So here's one of the fun death scenes. Can you hear when I share through this, or you probably can't?
There's like a thing you have to allow before you share your screen.
Oh, lame. So that's Helios. He looks pretty cool. He's basically begging for his
I
life
guess
right
he
now.
looks cool.
And you're like, tell me where I can find the flame. And he tries to blind you or whatever, because that's his like skill. He's like blinding Kratos, and you're like creeping up to him, and you're like, dude, this has got to be enough. There you go. Then you're doing this. You get to beat him down a little
Oh
bit.
boy, how is?
Pretty cool.
Why is how is he still alive and conscious?
I mean, they're gods. They
I
can
mean,
take
I
a
know,
beating.
but like, whatever.
Look at that Kratos. Look at that bod.
His arm armor is.
He's basically telling you you're a goddamn liar. Blah blah blah. Here you go. This is the good stuff right here. Very very visceral stuff. There you go.
You're visceral, bitch.
And you get to use his head as a flashlight for the rest of the game. Pretty cool.
What?
Yeah. Because he had that light that came out, you know?
Mm.
So, yeah, pretty cool stuff. So, you get Helios's head as another tool. That's always fun.
I mean, I love just cutting people's heads off and lighting up the world with them.
Yeah. You eventually will go on to fight Hermes as well. And Hermes is the little guy with the winged shoes, if you know your Greek mythology.
No, I think he's a goat man.
Oh, okay.
Like in Hercules.
Right. That's Philoctetes or whatever. That's a satyr.
Yeah. Wait, why did I think he was a weird version of Hermes?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Now I need to investigate that idea.
Because Hermes is that little one that flies with the glasses in. He's in the movie. He's just a different little dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You
right. And eventually you fight Hermes and you amputate his legs to steal his boots. So
why are you just stealing everyone's body parts?
They're tools. You don't take his legs. You just take the shoes off his feet.
But then
but you just had to do it. You're killing him anyway.
But why?
Because Kratos is ruthless. He wants to murder. And then after that, you move on to a fight against Hercules, where you mercilessly beat Hercules to death.
Do you kill Hercules? Oh, you kill Hercules?
Yeah, and you get these sweet, like Hercules has like these lion gauntlets that he uses to fight you, and you end up stealing those from him and then beating him to death with his own weapons. Pretty cool, huh?
But then he can't go the distance anymore.
No, he's gone all the distance he can, unfortunately, for this game. And along the way, you're obviously
I'm trying to sing the song, but I don't know the words, so I'm listening to a video.
What song?
Waiting for me, where the crowds will cheer when they see my face, and a voice keeps saying, "This is where I'm meant to be. I will find my way. I can go the distance. I'll be there someday. If I can be strong." I unplugged.
I can hear it now. You must have unplugged your headphones.
I would go most anywhere to feel like I belong. I'm sure I'm gonna love listening back to that.
Yeah, your edit's gonna be real fun here.
Yeah. Because I was also, I mean, I don't sing well anyways, but I can make it passable if I know the words, and I did not know the words. So I was like reading the subtitles and then singing like one half of like a. Anyways, you're welcome to.
Yeah, thanks for that.
25 of you.
All listeners, you love it.
Yeah.
So obviously, I'm really cutting it down, cutting the meat out of here a little bit.
How dare you?
We want
all the back fat.
We don't have 3 hours to do this. So there's obviously like puzzles and levels in between all these bosses I'm mentioning. So you're not, you're venturing along. You run into Hera, and she is kind of portrayed as like a wino drunk, like so angry that Kratos has caused all these problems. So he just breaks her neck. He takes it pretty easy on her. So she's dead.
Everyone's dead.
Everyone's dying. I mean, kind of Kratos' whole goal in this is that all the Olympians will die. He's like, I'm just ending Mount Olympus. The reign has gone on too long. And you come across this companion, Pandora. She's a small girl. She's a creation of Hephaestus, and she is the key to extinguishing the flame of Olympus.
Somebody call 911.
Yeah.
To extinguish.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of the fire burning.
Mm-hmm.
You encounter Aphrodite and her handmaidens in the goddess's chamber.
Well, that sounds sexual.
They do add a little sex scene. I think they throw it in there for you.
Oh, wow. They're really doing the whole thing.
I mean, Greek mythology, they're rolling into all of it, lean in.
Mm-hmm.
Along the way, you find the Titan Kronos, who would technically be Kratos' grandfather. And you stab him in the head with the blades of Olympus at Tartarus. Eventually,
Tartarus?
Yeah, Tartarus.
Like tartar sauce.
That was remember that was the place where the Titans were exiled to and trapped.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember having a conversation about that.
Yeah, I think for every God of War episode, I said Tartarus, and you did that same thing.
Well, it's a weird word, okay?
It is. Tartar sauce.
Yeah, bitch.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, you get to the point where your forge buddy Hephaestus tries to betray you. So then, spoiler alert, you kill him as well.
Yeah.
You get the Nemesis whip from Hephaestus just before his death. And then you battle Scorpius, the queen of the scorpions. And then you finally find your way into the flames chamber with Pandora.
I want to be the queen of the scorpions.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
So you're getting close to your final goal. You want the flame of Olympus, extinguish it, and that'll weaken the gods so you can kill Zeus, basically.
Is the flame of Olympus a real Greek thing?
I think so. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Everything so far has been like Pandora's box. So Zeus interrupts you in person. He arrives to try to stop you finally. Zeus prevents Pandora from her destiny. And the battle between Kratos and the king of the gods begins. Kratos beats the king of the gods in a duel and suddenly has a change of heart. Pandora was made to be the key to Pandora's box, which is what truly rests within the flame of Olympus. So we're coming back to Pandora's box again. Very important. And she would have to sacrifice herself to open the box. And you've kind of made this little friendship with Pandora along the way. She's kind of the only one who's all
these games have something about Pandora in them.
Because that's what's in Pandora's box, it's the mythical thing you're looking for.
Where's the Bermuda Triangle and what's in it, bitch?
Why do Greek mythologies care about the Bermuda Triangle?
I don't know, but Americans do because people go missing there and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All those planes and stuff. Maybe that's where Amelia Earhart is.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. So you had been on this warpath this whole time, and you had Pandora with you. She has kind of grown on Kratos. Having lost his own wife and daughter, kind of like a new daughter figure to him. And so when he gets to the end and knows that he has to sacrifice Pandora to get what he wants and kill Zeus, he kind of has a change of heart. He doesn't want to do it. Zeus pleads with Kratos to not fail her like he failed his family by letting them die. But this sends Kratos into an extreme rage because bringing up his dead family, kind of a sore spot.
Probably for most people, TBH.
Yeah. And then he is stunned by the dissipation of the flame, and Kratos opens Pandora's box once again, just as he had in the first game, only to discover that it is empty. Oh no. Zeus mocks him for, quote, another failure, and teleports outside in order to recover while Kratos' rage grows stronger. He's really mad now. Father and son meet outside once again.
Rage, bitch.
Yep. And they meet on a familiar platform. But before either can claim victory, platform is suddenly reawakened by Gaia, who is not dead yet. They thought she had been killed during the fight. But she violently shakes them and causes them to flee inside of her body. So they go inside of the Titan Gaia. Yeah. Which is kind of like the inside of a tree. You know what I mean?
That's true. It might be kind of nice in there.
It is kind of nice.
Trees are warm on the inside.
Yeah. So you're actually inside of her chest, and Kratos and Zeus duel near her heart. You can like see it.
Oh, that's kind of sketch.
Yeah. Zeus sucks her heart out.
Wow. I was concerned again, but
and and rejuvenates, as does Kratos. And finally, Gaia is killed when Kratos impales Zeus against her heart, which you think also kills Zeus. You're like, okay, we're done here. You wake up amidst a crack and chaotic earth. Kratos finds Zeus's body impaled on a rock, and he extracts the blade from him. However, when Kratos tries to leave, Zeus's still active spirit, consumed by hatred for his infidel son, attacks and drains Kratos of his willpower, his anger, and instead fills him with fear and a sense of loss while throwing him on the verge of death. So he's like really messing with his mind, with his god powers.
Still a lot of stuff going on there.
There is. Before dying, Kratos shares a last-minute mental journey with the guide of Pandora, whose spirit lives on within him, and begins abolishing the various things that torment his soul, the very things that astral Zeus is using to kill his mind. So it's kind of like a spiritual journey at this point. You're kind of literally killing your demons inside your own head. Is what I
want to share a mental journey with someone.
Right. So he's doing this to kind of unshackle himself from all his guilt and all his rage and, all of this. Mm-hmm. So overcoming these hurdles and feeling hope again, Kratos regains consciousness and his god powers back, and he forces Zeus's spirit back into his body before beating Zeus to death with his bare hands, ending the reign of the Olympians once and for all.
That was very exaggerated.
This verse, Kratos.
Wow. The memory on my Facebook right now is from 14 years ago. It is in my very blue bedroom. And you have on your fur hat thing, your sunglasses, and you're holding my guitar. Nice, and my freaking big AF Toshiba laptop is in the background. And there's a Taco Bell cup. So
nice.
Typical
Good
us.
Times.
Yeah.
So I sent you a quick little 2-minute video. You can actually watch it and have sound this time.
Crikey.
Let me know when you're going to start it.
I started it.
Okay. So you're obviously in Kratos' perspective right now. This is like kind of after everything's come to a head and you're just trying to fight Zeus off. You're so angry.
How come he doesn't have any color?
Because that's his like spirit astral form,
Oh.
Yeah. So it continues. I guess this part goes on a little longer than I thought, but we're almost there. And he puts him back into his body again. He's like, get back in there, bitch. I'm not done with you. And then there's actual Zeus right there. And you're like, okay, it's time. And now you got the rage. Throw him against a rock. And then you get, the classic circle.
Zeus kind of looks like a pirate.
Yeah, he could pass as a pirate.
Yeah, he could be on the black. What's the name of the boat?
The
Black
Pearl. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
he's gonna need some alcohol after this. Jesus.
Yeah, you just beat the crap out of him. I mean, after the screen turns all the way red,
there's so much blood.
Yeah.
Wow, you're just covering the screen.
So you can jump to like 207 now.
Wait, did he die?
Yeah, the deed is done here.
Well, now he's gonna be in the boat underwater with all the dead people on it.
Yeah. And so you see like the background of the world is like insane right now. Mm-hmm. It's because as you've killed all the gods, you killed the god of the sea. You've killed Helios, the sun god. every time you kill a god, it's just like their portion of the world is just being destroyed. So it's like a chaos hellscape by the time you get to Zeus. There's really nothing left. And there you go, you've done it, but there's nothing stacking around, you know?
Well,
yep. So after that happens, Athena arrives to congratulate Kratos on his victory and requests that he turn over the power he claimed from Pandora's box. But he's like, what do you mean? There was nothing inside. It was empty. What power did I claim? Athena claims that he is lying because when the evil of the Titans were first sealed into the box as a safety measure, she placed into the box the, quote, most powerful weapon in the world, which he claims to be hope, to counter the evil. She demands that Kratos returns this power he obtained from the box that belongs to her. For now that the world is like in chaos, you know, there's nothing left. She will rebuild it under her rule and will take the place of Zeus. Athena realizes that when Kratos first opened the box to kill Ares, as the evils infected and took a hold of the gods of Olympus, especially Zeus, the power of hope infused itself into Kratos. So in that first game, when you kill Ares, it like brought all this paranoia and like crazy stuff into the gods, which is why they started acting all crazy. Yeah. Hope had been buried deep beneath. Exactly. The hope had been buried deep beneath Kratos' anger, his rage, his vengeance, and guilt. And when Kratos finally learned to forgive himself for his past, he released that power in the last fight with Zeus. Athena again demands Kratos give her the power, but Kratos refuses and impales himself on the blade of Olympus.
Okay.
A large ray of blue light releases itself into the sky, giving all mankind the power of hope. Athena becomes furious, claiming that man will not know what to do with hope. She removes the sword from Kratos and departs, telling Kratos how disappointed she is by his actions. He snarls that he owes her nothing.
Like and this? I owe you nothing.
That's, yeah, pretty close, actually. He's got like blood spitting up and everything because he's like, you know, been impaled. Yeah.
I didn't mean to actually do that.
He accepts, and then he accepts his own death. But in the post-credit scene, the spot where Kratos' body was lying is now empty, with a trail of blood going off the edge of the cliff. And this scene is reminiscent from the first God of War when he tried to kill himself by jumping off the cliff. So, and that is exactly how God of War 3 ends. So, yeah, you have succeeded. All the gods have been killed. But you have left, you basically destroyed a world in chaos.
Yeah. It's like you took down the pillars of the world.
Basically. So, yeah, that's how it ends. And then we got the last God of War 2018, where his story continues. So, spoiler alert.
So there was like 8 years in between the third game and the fourth game?
Right.
Yikes. Bitch.
Yeah. But if you ever play that game, you'll know why. I mean,
I won't.
And it went on to the PlayStation 4, obviously. And I mean, it's a crazy, amazing game. So, I mean, there's tons to put into it. This one's no different. The one I will be playing probably next week. So, but yeah, God of War 3 is definitely the best game for like, you know, fighting, for graphics, for all the quality of life stuff in the video games. The only part it, you know, lacks a little bit is the story. People didn't like it as much. But overall, I mean, great game. Let's see what the wiki said about the reviews, but I'm sure they're pretty good. Yeah, so Metacritic gave it a 92. OneUp.com, A, Eurogamer 9 out of 10, Game Informer 10 out of 10. You know, nines. The lowest I see here is an 8 out of 10. So did very well, won a lot of awards, and for a good reason. And they continue to make good games today. That's really all I had prepped for God of War. If you haven't played it, I don't know what you're doing. Go play it.
Maybe people are busy.
Yeah, true. That's probably true.
Yeah, bitch.
So yeah, I guess that's all I got to go over today. What else you got?
I'm just tired, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, this one might be maybe a little bit shorter than our normal one, but
That's
I've
fun.
had a hellish week, and then we're taking a long weekend, so we'll be back at it next week.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
And next week I'm gonna talk more about dragons.
Yeah,
I haven't figured out
dragons.
which direction to go next, but there will
Have
there
you,
will be more dragons.
Have you got anything to plug for the week?
You can buy my dice.
Buy them.
Brokenbowdiceshop.com should take you to my. Why does it do that?
Why?
Yeah, my monitor cut out again. Should take you to my dice shop. Apparently, it works for everyone but me.
I'll try it on my computer. I haven't tried it on the computer yet.
I tried it on my phone and my computer when I texted you, and it wouldn't load on either of them. And I didn't even have my VPN turned on. I got it to work.
BrokenBowDiceShop.com.
Yeah.
/shop. That's what I like.
Oh, see, now it's working. That's so weird. Literally, when I texted you, it was just not the / because that link wouldn't be working, I don't think, but just brokenbowdiceshop.com.
They won't even like bring me there at all.
Nothing after the .com.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe I should find a better hosting site because maybe sometimes it doesn't work. Like it's working for me right now, but
anyways. Yeah, I just typed in the. Oh, there it went. Okay, yeah, it's working.
They're 10% off. Yeah, I haven't really been making. I made a dice a couple weeks ago, and I haven't made any in like 2 weeks again. So, #oops. #I'm tired a lot. So.
But yeah, you need to buy more before she makes more. So I mean, get on it.
Yeah, give me motivation again. I think I've probably only made like less than $1,000 this year because I have hardly sold anything.
You have 482 admirers though.
Yeah, well, I kind of like stopped using Etsy for a while, so I did sell a set last week, but
nice.
Yeah, and do you have plugging things?
Have I watched anything again? I don't think so. I mean, we're watching Chainsaw Man, so that's fun.
Also watch Mormon No More on Hulu and listen to the Mormon Stories podcast. There's also a podcast called Latter Gay Saints or something like that. Latter Gay. I thought it was funny. Yeah. And then the people in the Mormon No More also have a podcast, but I don't remember what it's called. I think I followed it. Now I'm getting a lot of recommendations for Mormon. Yeah, I bet. Things. I don't remember what the other one's called, but I'm pretty sure. Wow, I'm getting so many okay. Anyways, I'm pretty sure I followed one that was also about Mormons, but I can't remember. I thought I followed the lesbian couple one, but I don't remember the name. Anyways, if you're interested in any of that, pretty cool. I mean, it's not cool. It like sucks for them, but right. Yeah, and then you can follow us on @5MMPOD on social medias, #5MMPOD. So you can send us an email. We haven't heard from Greta in like 8 months. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't think Greta survived. No, to 5FIVE more minutes pod@gmail.com. You can like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts on YouTube. You can turn on notifications, automatic downloads. Download them anyways. Leave us a rating and a review because not really anyone has. Share us with your friends and family, your friends who are your family who's more like friends and family, and maybe we should do a giveaway soon. Also, bit.ly/5MMPOD for some really old blog posts. Check them out. Bitches. Yeah, we'll make some more if you comment and be like, oh, this was interesting or something like that. Yeah, hell yeah. Give me a little reward for our effort or something. Yeah. Yeah. Did I say the sheriff's part yet? Yes, you did. I think you covered everything for us to be clocking out, right? Yeah. Yeah. Bye. See you.